right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my YouTube family. Good afternoon, my Clubhouse family. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's Monday, September 13th. It is Monday, September 13th, y'all. And it is Keeping Up with Congress, y'all. 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 5:30 right here on YouTube, right here on Clubhouse. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, y'all. I show up. I just keep showing up. I just keep doing the work. I'm here. I am committed. May 24th, 2022, y'all. We have a race to the United States Senate to win May 24th of 2022. We can't play with it. We got to keep showing up. This world is we're in a strange place, y'all. And if we don't show up, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm doing my part. I am doing my part. So again, if you are following me right here on YouTube, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification, and share. So I know everybody's been following the news. I know you've been following the news because I have. And I'm just going to tell you that initially, I just was not. I have stayed out of the conversation, out of the controversy of the vaccine. And I have stayed out of it, family, because honestly, I feel like this is a personal choice. This is a personal decision. This is not something that anybody should tell you. It's between you, your doctor, me, and my God. That is, it is a personal choice. It's a personal decision. But this past Friday, when our president made the announcement about these mandates, I realized I could no longer be silent. I couldn't be silent. And I won't be silent. And I'm not going to be silent. So I put out a video this past Friday, and I'm going to play it. 3 minutes. I'm not one for a whole lot of words, but I was not going to sit by and let this happen. So I'm going to play the video, and then we're going to dive into Keeping Up with Congress, y'all. Good afternoon. I just wanted to take a few minutes to come to you to talk about these mandates. I'm angry. I'm very angry. I spoke with someone today, a gentleman, and he said, I lost my job over this shit. He said, I lost my job over this shit. It hit me like a ton of bricks. How devastating this is going to be for a lot of families. How devastating this is going to be for our economy. How devastating this is going to be for our country. I'm angry. So I'm encouraging those of you that are entrepreneurs, have an entrepreneurial spirit, please take this opportunity and run with it. Take this opportunity and open your small business. Mom and pop shops, you are back. Take this opportunity, y'all, and run with it. So these venues that don't want your money because you can't come in without a vaccination card, these restaurants that don't want your money because you can't come in unless you're vaccinated, take this opportunity and support those who are going to support you. Open up that business. We're going to have to fight back with what this country understands, and that's the power of the purse. and the power of the polls. So they don't want your money? To hell with it. Support businesses that support you. And when we get to the polls in 2022, let's show up and vote policy, not party, not people, not personalities. Let's vote policy. Because this was not the right move by my fellow Democrats. I am Tamara Shealey, and I approve this message. So that was my video from
on this Friday morning after the president's speech last night at 5.
That was my video message on Friday after hearing about these mandates. But then I look the next day and found that Congress has been exempted from the actual mandates. And it made me, y'all, I was madder than I was on Friday. Because how dare they force this vaccination on Americans, but they themselves in Congress and their staff are exempted from the vaccine. We got to fight. We definitely have to fight. We can't sit back and allow this administration to dictate and control. So we got to fight. So let's dive in, y'all. You know, I like to bring you some news, some reparations information. But before I get to the reparations information, let's dive into the actual bills. No, before we dive into the bills, we're going to get into these committee hearings. So let's get into these committee hearings. This one was actually today. The Build Back Better Act. The Build Back Better Act. This is in the House Energy and Commerce Committee. This was actually this morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. And we got to pay attention, y'all. We got to pay attention to all of these committees. This particular committee hearing had everything from wireless connectivity, hazardous materials, drinking water, drug pricing, Affordable Care Act, Medicaid, CHIP, Medicare, relating to public health, distance learning. Everything is in this Build Back Better Act that was heard this morning in the House Energy and Commerce Committee. So we got to pay attention, y'all. So if you hadn't heard about this Build Back Better, do your homework, do your research, but we have to definitely pay attention. This is a broad bill, and we got to know what's going on, y'all. Look, all these amendments. Yep. We got to know what's going on. So this is the Build Back Better Act in the House Energy and Commerce Committee. There's another hearing tomorrow. There's another hearing tomorrow, which is Tuesday, the 14th, Tuesday, September 14th. This is a hearing to examine the United States withdrawal from Afghanistan. For those of you that are paying attention to foreign relations, this is the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Again, tomorrow, September 14th at 10 a.m. Eastern. Wednesday, September 15th, 9:30 a.m., the Senate Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry Committee, Senate Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry Committee. This is a hearing to examine milk pricing, focusing on areas for improvement and reform. I told you there's 4 areas where I take very special interest, and that's food, air, water, and land. Again, food, air, water, and land. We can do a lot of negotiations in Congress, but those certain things we're just going to have to get right. So again, food, air, water, and land. This is Wednesday, September 15th at 9:30 a.m. So if you are following me right here on this Clubhouse space, I will be over to the Clubhouse space in about 18 minutes. In about 18 minutes, I am here on YouTube until the half hour. So thank you. I see you, my YouTube family, for joining me right here for Keeping Up with Congress. You know, I come to you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. I told you we will not, and I repeat, we will not get reparations without negotiation. So we have to know the players in Congress. We got to know the game. We got to keep up with these bills. We got to be ready because we can't wait to get to Congress to get ready. When we get there, we got to know how to play this game. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. I do have some reparations information to share with you. The city of Amherst, you know, we've been following these cities around the country. Amherst is Massachusetts. Amherst town manager recommends 6 for the reparations committee appointment. So the town manager is recommending 6 to serve on the newly created African Heritage Reparations Assembly. Y'all, they're moving over in Amherst, but I want y'all to pay attention to how this is actually working itself out. It says the group will be tasked with developing a municipal reparations plan that includes both a reparations fund and a community-wide process of reconciliation and repair for harms against Black people. Y'all see I got that word highlight. Let me make this larger for those of you that are watching on YouTube. Let me make this, there you go. You can see it a little better. You see, it says Black people. You know, these words that are all encompassing Black, minority, African American. If they don't specifically speak to those of us who are descendants of chattel slavery, y'all, we understand and we are very clear that that is not what reparations is. So this is to repair the harms against Black people. It says, according to the language contained in the municipality's official charge for the panel. Goes on to say the town has established criteria to serve on the reparations committee as follows. It says the 7-member committee shall include 6 Black residents. Y'all, I want y'all to keep hearing that word Black. 6 Black residents, at least 2 of whom are current or former members of elected bodies in Amherst. It says 1 member shall be a representative from Amherst, from Reparations for Amherst, which is a group, y'all. We've been following this group, Reparations for Amherst. Brockelman has informed the council that he expects to recommend a 7th member for their approval soon. It says the September 13th council agenda lists the 6 recommended for terms to expire at the completion of their work. So here are the 6, y'all. Listen, hear me, and let's see how they identify. So this is Jamila Jemison. She self-identifies as African American. Heather Lord, a current or former member of an Amherst elected body, self-identifies as Black. See, what do these terms actually mean? What's the difference between Black right here and African American up there? See, this is where the waters get real muddy, y'all. So Heather Lloyd identifies as Black, Indigenous, and white. Alexis Reed, she self-identifies as half African American and half European American. What's the difference between European American and white? You see where this is gonna, you see where this could possibly go, right? Urban Rose, a current or former member of an Amherst elected body, self-identifies as Black. Amilcar Shabazz, current or former member of an Amherst elected body, self-identifies as African. Y'all, let me say that again. He self-identifies as African. Does that not mean he's American? Michelle Miller, a representative for Reparations for Amherst. I know she is white or European American because I know who she is. You see where these waters get muddy, right? And when they're trying to figure out who is owed reparations and how having all these different identities doesn't help in our justice claim for those of us who are descendants of chattel slavery. America doesn't owe Black people. America doesn't owe African Americans. America owes those of us who are descendants of chattel slavery. This is where we have to get the language right. So this is Amherst, y'all. This is their initiative. But you could see where this could possibly go wrong on so many levels, and it is going wrong, in my opinion, on so many levels. This is why we understand that reparations is a federal initiative. Dr. Darity, who we follow, if you don't know who Dr. Darity is, William Sandy Darity, he's an economist out of Duke. I follow his work, and he's made it very clear that no city, no state could ever afford to even do anything specific to reparations. Like, they don't have the budgets to do it. This is a federal initiative. This is why we have to get to Washington. This is why we have to get to Washington, everybody. So here's an op-ed. Here's an op-ed about what's going on in California. For those of you who may not know, AB 3121, we've been following it for a long time. I see you, family. Thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I see you, Clubhouse. I'll be over there in 12 minutes. But here's an op-ed. It says, why California's Slavery Reparations Task Force has the power to transform us all. AB 3121, y'all, creates a commission in the state of California to address the impact of slavery with a reparations claim. So I'm not sure what California is going to be able to do, but we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it just like we're watching Amherst. This article says, unless your school experience was atypical, you probably weren't taught about the history of slavery in California. It says that could change for future generations, thanks in part to a new state task force that's considering the question of reparations for the descendants of enslaved people in California. It says, but it also has the power to transform our understanding of the past. It says, how? By commissioning a school curriculum to educate students about the history of slavery and its legacies within California. It could be modeled on the Charleston syllabus, a widely employed reading list about race relations compiled after a white supremacist entered a South Carolina church in 2015 and massacred 9 Black worshipers. Such a syllabus would help dispel the stubborn myth that California was a landscape of freedom, untouched by the dark shadow of slavery. And by tracing the long history of anti-Black discrimination in the state, it would prepare most Californians to engage seriously with the debate over reparations. It says the syllabus could bring together important new resources, books, articles, websites, podcasts about the hundreds of Black people who labored in bondage in California. It said it could also spotlight the ways in which California policymakers helped strengthen slavery, not just locally, but across the country in the decade before the Civil War. Lawmakers in California joined with planters in the South to promote a sweeping pro-slavery agenda with dire consequences for the Union. It's a national story that has received scant attention. So this is an op-ed out of the Los Angeles Times about AB 31 and the initiating of a curriculum that could teach the history of slavery in the state of California. Goes back to critical race theory and having this national dialogue and educating people about what the history really is. Not just his story, but my story, our story. So here's another article. I'm gonna bring you one more. This is one more reparations update. This is APSU's Thompson. It explores Tulsa Massacre reparations through a national fellowship. So this article goes on to say, I'm gonna start kind of in the middle here, but it says Fletcher, and we know who Viola Fletcher is. She's the 107-year-old survivor of the Tulsa Massacre. It's 3 of them. So Viola Fletcher is the oldest living survivor of the 1921 Tulsa Massacre. And 100 years later, that city is still struggling with how to properly atone for the bloody violence that killed as many as 300 people and destroyed the affluent Greenwood district, known to many as Black Wall Street. It says earlier this summer, the Urban Leaders Fellowship, a a national social justice program that focuses on crafting policies at local and state government levels, developed a bold proposal for providing reparations to the survivors and their descendants. And one of the architects behind that proposal was Dr. James Thompson, who's an associate dean of Austin Peay State University's Erickson's College of Education. Article goes on to say, we propose for the city of Tulsa to provide direct payments to the descendants. Says we also looked at how we can restore the mental health of the descendants and how can we restore the Greenwood district. How do we give the land back? So it says this reparation plan includes providing grants for college tuition to descendants of the massacre and using publicly financed tax increment financing to allow Black business owners to redevelop the Greenwood district that was taken from them. So it's sad that we are 100 years later and then, these kind of initiatives are just now coming into place. But, we're here and this is now, and we're going to take what we can get. I have about 7 more minutes and I'm going to come over to the clubhouse space, but I have about 5 bills that I want to share. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to bring you some bills today for Keeping Up with Congress. We were catching up on the news. So, I was on my soapbox at the top of the hour. Senate Bill 601, Senate Bill 601 is prohibiting punishment for acquitted conduct act of 2021. This is Senator Richard Durbin. He's a Democrat out of Illinois. I looked this one up. This legislation would end the unjust practice of judges increasing sentences based on conduct for which a defendant has been acquitted by a jury. So this is a quote from Senator Durbin. He says, under our Constitution, defendants can only be convicted of a crime if a jury of their peers find they are guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. It says, however, federal law inexplicably allows judges to override a jury verdict of not guilty by sentencing defendants for acquitted conduct. It says this practice is inconsistent with the Constitution's guarantee of due process and the right to a jury trial. It says our bipartisan bicameral bill would make it clear that this unjust practice is prohibited under federal law. So this bill has a lot of support on both sides of the aisle and in both chambers. This is Senator Durbin, Grassley. We looked at Senator Grassley, y'all. He's the legislator that's 80 plus years old. Cohen, Armstrong. This is some bipartisan, bicameral legislation, y'all. Senate Bill 601. Senate Bill 602. Senate Bill 602 is the Stop Forced Organ Harvesting Act of 2021. Stop Forced Organ Harvesting Act of 2021. This is Senator Cotton, Republican out of Arkansas. Arkansas. Senator Cotton. It says this bill establishes specified measures to combat forced organ harvesting and the international trafficking in persons for the purpose of removing their organs. It says these measures include establishing property blocking and visa blocking sanctions, prohibiting exports of certain surgery devices to entities that are identified as being responsible for forced organ harvesting or related human trafficking, and 3, requiring the Department of State to report on these practices. So this is the Stop Forced Organ Harvesting Act of 2021. Now, when I think about a piece of legislation like this, I know this is not necessarily in the same vein, but it was definitely the removal of organs. I think about Kendrick Johnson, and y'all, let's not forget Kendrick Johnson, whose body exhumed, and they found that his organs was missing. So we won't forget Kendrick. His mother is on the app. So if you are following me on the Clubhouse app, I ask that you follow his mother. It says Jackie Kendrick Johnson, I believe is her name here on the app, but she pops in and out of my rooms. And when she does, I always have to let people know who she is, and we'll always allow her to tell her story. We will always be a resource to her, and as she continues this fight. But this is Senate Bill 602, Senate Bill 602. 602. Senate Bill 603, I'm just going to bring you three more bills. Senate Bill 603, Coronavirus Emergency Student Loan Refinancing Act. Now, I found this one interesting. This is Senator Mark Warner, Democrat out of Virginia. Coronavirus Emergency Student Loan Refinancing Act. Don't refinance no student loans. How about do what Biden said he was going to do? Let's forgive some of this student loan debt. Don't refinance. But that's what this bill is about. This bill establishes a refinancing program for federal student loans. It says specifically, the Department of Education must within 30 days establish a program that allows qualified borrowers to refinance their federal student loans down to lower interest rates. It says the refinanced interest rates are calculated based on the type of student loan and fixed for the period of the loan. That's not what Biden said. Now, we talked about forgiving student loan debt, and we hadn't heard anything since, right? Keeping up with Congress, y'all. Senate Bill 604. Senate Bill 604 is the Democracy Technology Partnership Act. Democracy Technology Partnership Act. This is Senator Mark Warner, Democrat out of Virginia. It says this bill establishes the International Technology Partnership Office led by the Special Ambassador for Technology in the Department of State. It says this office shall advance U.S. technology policy through the creation of an international technology partnership with specified foreign countries. So this is the Democracy Technology Partnership Act. Senator Warner, Senate Bill 604. Senate Bill 605 is the Stop Underrides Act. This is Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, Democrat out of New York. It says this bill requires the installation of rear, side, and front underride guards on certain trucks and trailers. So this is the Stop Underrides Act. This is Senator Gillibrand, Democrat out of New York. So we are almost, y'all, at the half hour. You know, I come to you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right here on YouTube. I come to you right here in these clubhouse streets. We got a race to win to the United States Senate. We have a race to win. May 24, 2022 is our election date. Again, May 24th, 2022 is our election day. Look, this is it. This is all we got. We are in this moment. If there was another candidate, I would be supporting them. I see we do have the brother over in South Carolina that's getting ready to primary Clyburn. So right now it's he and I out here in these political streets, y'all, out here in these political streets. That means we can have somebody over in the House. Let's get rid of Clyburn. Y'all can have me over in the Senate, y'all. We can get some stuff done. We can get it done, y'all. So, let's do it. Let's do it. Go to the website, make a donation. I come to you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm committed, y'all. I'm committed. So I'm gonna come over to the clubhouse space and catch up. This has been a long weekend. You know, I stayed very active on social media this weekend with these Biden mandates and trying to let people know that I'm not going to be quiet. And thus far, I don't know another Democrat who's speaking up. None. So I stayed very vocal this weekend. I'm going to continue to talk about these mandates and make sure that we continue to push back. You know, this is America, y'all. And this is not how we're going to go out. But I will see you tomorrow right here on Keeping Up with Congress. Thank you for tuning in for Keeping Up with Congress. I am Tamara Johnson Shealey, your candidate for the United States Senate. I'm a progressive Democrat that believes that reparations will make America great. It is time that we bridge the divide in this country. Please go to the website. That's tamaraforgeorgia.com. www.tamara, Georgia spelled out.com. Please join me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here for Keeping Up with Congress.